Welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're looking at something that's, well, genuinely pretty funny, but also deeply fascinating. We're going to be unpacking this super short digital artifact from the channel Secrets of Egyptian Civilization. And we're basically going to see exactly what happens when the absolute sheer grandeur of ancient history literally collides with a very, very confused modern AI algorithm. It's quite a trip.
Rome's, King Ramesses, is to Rome's, the mighty King Am. Okay, yes, that is the exact, unedited, auto-generated transcript for this piece of media. Seriously. It honestly reads like a modern artificial intelligence is just having a total meltdown trying to process the immense weight of human antiquity.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the video metadata context. We really need to examine these tags.
Right, so to understand that incredibly chaotic string of words I just read, we actually need to look at the scaffolding built around it, and we're going to start with this highly specific number, 1213, sourced directly from the title, circa 1213 BC. Instantly, and I mean instantly, drops us into the deep past of ancient Egypt. It anchors that wild algorithmic stutter we just heard into a very real, very strictly defined historical timeline.
We can actually cleanly separate the physical history from its modern digital footprint here. First, consider the mummy. Now, this points straight to the incredibly meticulous, key burial practices of ancient Egypt, right? We're talking about the complex mummification processes that were literally designed to preserve a pharaoh's physical body for all of eternity. But then, look at the digital tags. We see exactly how those incredibly sacred practices are packaged for us today. Hashtag Egyptian Museum, hashtag Pyramids of Egypt. It is absolutely wild. We are essentially watching millennia-old burial rites being fully optimized for 21st century search engine. Moving right along to section 2, the transcript deconstructed. Let's do a little forensic textual analysis here. This perfectly illustrates the ridiculous clash we're looking at today. On one hand, you have the impossibly grand, formal title of literally one of history's most prominent figures, King Ramesses II. But on the other, you get this frantic, repetitive guesswork from a machine. Rome's King Ramesses. The system completely and utterly fails to process his actual name, reducing a legend to a literal digital stutter. It's like a giant historical puzzle the AI just couldn't solve. Now, what's really interesting about this is that somehow a tiny fragment of pure royal significance actually survives the whole transcription process. Listen to that phrase, the mighty King Am. Amidst all the digital confusion and the endless looping of Rome's, the core identity and the undeniable royal significance of Ramesses II still pushes through. Even completely garbled in translation, his ultimate status as a ruler remains totally intact. So, the crucial point is really brought together in Section 3, a mighty king's legacy. Let's look at this digital portrait. So, how exactly is this ancient ruler portrayed to us today through all these fragmented digital lenses? Well, let's break it down. We have the foundational channel, Secrets of Egyptian Civilization. Then we have his preserved physical form, the mummy, which completely cements those key burial practices that literally defied physical decay. Then we've got his modern digital reach, spreading like wildfire through modern hashtags. And finally, extracted right out of that chaotic transcript, we have his enduring title, the Mighty King. When you put it all together, it forms a complete, if wonderfully unconventional, digital portrait for the modern era. Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought. Is a mighty king ultimately defined by actual history or by the modern algorithms that transcribe it? It's genuinely fascinating to consider how the digital age just continues to reshape our everyday interactions with the deep past. So, what do you think? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll see you next time.